everybody, it's Susan from Sunrise Quilt Studio. Today I am working on some pillow forms for a friend. She gave me a couple of pieces of fabric that she wanted to be made into pillows, and she got me the forms and the backing fabric, and so I'm going to do that this week. She gave this to me 4 to 6 weeks ago and told me she wasn't in a hurry, but these are Dallas Cowboys fabrics, and it's football season, so I want to get these done so that she can get them in her TV room and enjoy them during football season. So I'm going to show you step by step how I'm going to turn these pieces of fabric into pillow forms that are the envelope style, so that you can remove them off your pillow form and wash them and then replace them on your pillow. Okay, here are the bandanas that I'm working with to make pillow covers with, and as you can see, they're Dallas Cowboys. Now my friend gave me 2 yards of this Waverly fabric. It's 100% cotton, and this is what I'm going to use for the back of the pillow form of the pillow case to make the envelope pillow cover. And I squared this up. This is basically a 17-inch square. It was just a little bit long, so I trimmed it on 2 sides to kind of keep the pattern even on both sides, but it made that 17 inches square. And then I cut 2 more pieces. One is 17, this one is 17 by 12, this is 17 by 13. And now on the 17-inch side, on one of the sides of each one of these pieces, I'm going to fold it over 1/2 inch and create a hem. So I have a seam gauge that you use for sewing, and I have the slider down at the 1/2 inch mark, and I'm going to use that to help me measure this 1/2 inch. So I just tuck that under that seam or the edge of the fabric, and then roll it until I got that down to the 1/2 inch mark. And then I'm just going to press along that seam that I'm creating, and I'm trying to go fairly quickly so that I don't scorch the fabric, but this is 100% cotton, so it should be able to take the heat pretty well. So I'm going to set that aside and give that a chance to cool down, and while that is cooling down, I'm going to do the other side. Do it the same way. Now this little slider is plastic, so I have to be careful not to hit that with the iron because it will melt it. And you could do this without steam. You really don't need the steam. It's just gives you a crisper edge when you do. So now I'm going to switch and let this one cool off, and now I'm going to work on this one. And what I want to do is to roll this raw edge in towards the crease and then roll it again. So it's going to give me a 1/4 inch hem. And I'm just going to tuck that in all the way to the edge and press. And for this I'm going to turn my steam off so I don't have steam trying to shoot over my fingers and burning myself. So just tucking that in as I go with the iron. There we go. And now this one is cool enough I can do the same here. Just tucking and moving the iron as I go. And this doesn't have to be exact. And if you want to make a deeper hem, you could fold this over at 1 inch and then tuck it under to make a 1/2 inch seam. Now I'm going to take this to my sewing machine, both of these pieces, and then I'm going to sew this hem right there. I have the hems sewn down, and I'm going to go ahead and press these to make them a little smoother. I'm just going to press them both at the same time. Just pressing as you sew things just gives you a crisper finished look. Okay, now I'm going to take my cover, my front piece, and I'm going to turn it right sides up. I want to take this piece and match it to this side, and then I'm going to pin it down. And this is going to be sewn all the way around after I get all the pieces together. I'm going to put all 3 pieces together and then sew it down. So I'm going to pull this forward. My ironing board is narrower than the 17 inches that this fabric is, so I'm just going to turn, make things easy on myself, just kind of turn the fabric to where it works best for me. And I like to pin perpendicular to the edge. It's just something I was doing when I was doing garment sewing. Made it easier to pull the pins out as I was sewing on the machine. So I just automatically put pins in perpendicular to the fabric edge. There's no other reason for it other than it was just easier for me to pull the pins as I was sewing. Okay, now I'm going to line the next piece. Now these pieces are going to be right sides to the right side of the top of the main piece of the fabric. Now if you are just using yardage and not a bandana like I am, or a separate piece, like you could use contrasting fabrics, have the front of your pillow one fabric and the back another, which is what this is turning out to be. Only I'm using a bandana for the front. And I'm just pinning about every 4 to 6 inches. I'm not measuring, I'm just pinning what looks like it's going to work best for me. And now we get to where the edges are overlapping. You can see right here. So I'm going to use the same pins that are already in here, just pull it and then reinsert it so it's getting all 3 layers at the same time and keeping those raw edges even. So we're okay on that side. And just flip it and we'll do this side. Now my friend and her family are big Dallas Cowboys fans, so I really wanted to get this done for them in time for football season, and I realized this weekend that football's already started, so I really needed to get moving on those. So now I'm going to take this to my sewing machine and I am going to stitch all the way around. Okay, I'm once again at my Singer 1591. And I am going to sew this seam at a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So I have a piece of static tape here that marks it. This side is 1/4 of an inch and this side is 1/2. So I'm going to go with this mark here. And I'm just going to pick a place to start. I don't want to start at the corner because I want to turn that corner and not have the stitches stopping there. I want that to be continuous, so I'm going to go ahead and start, and I'm not going to backstitch until I get around again. I'm just going to pull my pins as I go. And I am at about 12 stitches per inch. Well, maybe 10. It's between 10 and 12. You cannot dial this in exactly on this machine. Okay, I'm going to stop at a 1/2 inch from the edge, leave the needle down and pivot, and then go on stitching. Okay, I'm getting to the part where they overlap. And just keep sewing as if this is one piece of fabric. Now back stitch here. And trim my threads. And now the cover is done. I'm going to go ahead and trim the corners. Just get close to the stitching. Now the thread color I'm using is a light gray. It matches the backing fabric. Okay, what you can do at this point, you can trim this down a little bit more. You could zigzag stitch close to your stitching here. You can serge it also, or you could use the pinking shears and pink those edges. What that will do is if you take these covers off and you wash them, it'll keep those edges from fraying too much. And I'm going to go ahead and use my serger and serge these edges and kind of let it go at that. Okay, I have the edges all serged, and I didn't do serges to trim off the edge. I just serged right up to the edge, and that way the white thread in my serger isn't going to show. It's the pillow cover is all put together with the matching gray thread, and this white that's on the edges won't show. So now it's time to turn this pillow form out, and I'm just going to put my finger in the corner and just push it out and do the same with all four corners. Okay, I'm going to turn this out, and now I have a corner turner, and I'm going to use this to crisp up these corners here. Now this is an old corner turner that I own. I've had this since I was a teenager, so this came in a mail order package that I ordered. You used to, before there was internet, if you're old enough to remember that, when you couldn't find things locally, you'd find a catalog and order them on a catalog, from a catalog, and sometimes they would send you little gifts. Or if you had ordered something from a catalog at one point, your name would be sold to other companies, and you would get all kinds of little gadgets in the mail with invitations to order from them too. So this is where this came from. It was from something I ordered, and it came in the mail. So I've got the corners all out, and they're nice and crisp. And now I'm going to get the pillow form, and we're going to stuff this pillowcase. Here's the pillow, and it actually has an extra cover on it. It even has a zipper closure, so double protection for what is in here. And I believe this is down because there are some pieces of fluff coming out, and this is a 16 by 16. It says it's 100% polyester, but it's very soft and downy feeling. It's a nice pillow form. So I'm going to go ahead and just tuck that in. Just pull it down to the corners, and then reach in and find the hem of the other side and just tuck that pillow right in. And here we go. Just kind of smooth it out a little bit. Get that hem nice and flat in there. And there we go. All ready for the next football game. Thanks for watching. For more quilting ideas, click on the video links. And to keep up with my newest projects, click on the subscribe button. I hope to see you again soon.